some blue. And if I had one wish come
Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Facundo Nia and I hope you are doing fine. This week is the premiere of Lilo Stitch. It's a remake from the 2002 animated movie and I am so excited because I really love the original Lilo Stitch movie. So let's dig in. And the movie goes up against Mission Impossible. But you know what? This is not the first time that Stitch goes up against Tom Cruise, because that same thing happened in 2002 when the original Lilo Stitch came out. At that time, Tom Cruise had a movie, Minority Report. And Minority Report took the #1 spot at the box office that week. And Lilo Stitch had the second spot. But I think this year, actually, Lilo Stitch is gonna win. What do you think? I'm going to make a short breakdown of the new movie, then I'm gonna compare it with the original one, and then I'm gonna make a review, and after that, I'm going to show you my new popcorn bucket, because my new popcorn bucket is very cute, and it's one of the best ones I've seen in Sweden. Okay, let's begin. Remake of Lilo Stitch actually begins the same way as the original one, that's from 2002, but instead of being animated, this scene is CGI and it has great CGI. All the aliens look very cool, and this movie has the lowest budget of the Disney remakes, and it looks very good. In the beginning of the movie, Dr. Jumbo is being accused for making lots of crimes. And some of them are genetic experimentation, and this is the first time that we see Stitch. Stitch is locked in a little ball, and he has 6 arms, and his antennas are like, and he tries to break free, and he goes run around like a ball. And then we are told that Stitch, even if he's very cute, people claim it's actually a weapon, because Stitch is bulletproof, fireproof, can think faster than a supercomputer, and he has super strength. His only instinct is to destroy everything he touches. He's like very destructive, like, and even holding cells, like try to destroy it all the time. And then he says a lot of funny stuff like I don't know what he says, but it sounds amazingly fun. Most of the council actually wants Stitch dead, but the council woman, she wants to give Stitch a chance, and she asks him if he can prove that he's good. But then Stitch swears in an alien language. Which I don't know what he says, but it's so funny. And one of the audience members, he starts puking. It's so hilarious. Like, he's so funny. He's like vomiting. Then the councilwoman sentences Stitch to exile. But before they do that, they put him in a very cool holding cell. And it has lots of cannons pointing at Stitch. And those cannons are locked onto his DNA, so Stitch notices that, so he spits onto somebody's helmet, and the guy's like, ah! And he removes the helmet so fast, so he doesn't get shot, because all the cannons are like, and then Stitch escapes, and he's like, and he runs very cute, and then the councilwoman's minion, she says, oh no, Stitch stole a police cruiser. He took the red one. I don't know why she says that, but actually the red one is the best looking one, so it must be that. And then, actually I don't know why, but Stitch puts the coordinates to Earth, and it flies into Earth. And then it looks like Stitch is gonna crash land on water. And the councilwoman, she's very happy, because it looks like Stitch is going to drown in the water because he can't survive in the water. But she gets very mad and sad when she sees that Stitch crash lands in Hawaii. So then the councilwoman said, okay, we have to destroy the planet, but then Plickly comes, and he's very funny. He's dressed as a cowboy, and he looks at one of the YMCA members. Then people ask Plickly, why are you dressed this way? And he said, oh no, I'm dressed like an earthling species called cowboy. That's part cow and part boy. That's hilarious. That's very funny. Plickly says that Earth can't be destroyed because Earth is the home of an endangered species called mosquitoes, and humans are mosquitoes' main food source. It's very fun. Plickly and Yumba are sent to capture Stitch directly, and Plickly is so cute, and he hugs Yumba. And Plickly is actually played by Billy Magnuson. This is the first time in the movie that we actually meet Lilo, and she swims around the ocean holding a peanut butter sandwich that she's gonna feed fish with. And it's so cute. Then she realizes that she's late to her hula recital. So she starts running, but instead of running straight to the dance recital, she makes a lot of mischief on the way, like freeing a lot of chicken. Why? Because all the chicken has to be free. Then the owner comes out and says, "Oh, Lilo, not again!" Like this is the thousandth time that this happens. Lilo is so cute. When Lilo gets to the dance recital and starts dancing, she actually notices that one of the chairs is empty. And that chairs belongs to her sister Nanny. The thing is, Lilo doesn't know that her sister's car broke down. That's why her sister's not there. But Lilo gets very, very sad. So one of the girls who's dancing with Lilo actually starts bullying her. And Lilo gets so mad because she's very, very sad and bullied all the time. So she pushes this girl out of the stage and she falls down. And then big drama erupts and a very, very sad Lilo runs straight home. Annie finally arrives to the dance recital. It's actually over. And when she gets home, she notices she can't get inside because Lilo locked the door. Laying down on the floor, listen to Elvis, while the social worker arrives. In this movie, the social worker is not Cobra Bubbles, but it's a new character called Kyoka. Nani finally gets inside the house. Miss Kyoka, the social worker, goes through Nani's bills and she notices lots of them are unpaid. And the house is upside down and needs to be cleaned. And then Miss Kyoka says to Nani that she gets 1 week until she comes back with her supervisor. And then the house has to be cleaned and all the bills has to be paid. Nani, she has to get health insurance for Lilo and herself. Or else the state is gonna take Lilo away from Nani. A lot of people actually think that Lilo could be autistic, but I think she could be suffering from PTSD after the death of her parents. Lilo is a wonderful little girl, she's so cute and she's so lovely, but she's very bullied and she doesn't have any friends. She's with her sister Nani and they look up in the sky and they see what they think is a star falling down, but actually it's not a star, it's a spaceship. And inside of the spaceship is Stitch. The thing is, Lilo wishes for her best friend and she hopes that her friend's gonna be an angel, but she's so wrong because Stitch is a very destructive little dude that destroys everything he touches. But then he's going to become her Ohana, her family, and this is a very good movie. I like it a lot. Okay, let's continue. Okay, from now on, I ain't gonna break down the movie anymore. So I'm gonna have lots of spoilers, so you've been warned. Warned? Okay, social worker Kyoka, she's not the only new character in the movie. Another new character is a neighbor Tutu. And she might be the neighbor, but she's like family. She's Ohana. When Stitch crash lands, he doesn't just crash his own spaceship. He also crashes a wedding. He's hungry and he wants to have some cake. That's so funny. When Stitch really crashes the wedding and everybody la, and then he runs away with the cake. La 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 la. And this scene is very funny. Even though it's not in the original movie, it's really, really funny. Then Stitch, instead of getting crushed by a truck, he gets crushed by a bus. And he's taken to the dog pound because everybody thinks he's dead. In the original movie from 2002, it's actually Nanny that brings Lilo to the dog pound to adopt a dog. But in this movie, it's actually the neighbor that does it. And Lilo is actually there not to adopt a dog, but to feed them candy. And it's a lot of fun. And the one that works in the dog pound, she's like, "Oh, Lilo, I'm not allowing you to feed them candy anymore," because Lilo has done it many, many times before. And it's a lot of fun. In the beginning, Stitch wants to use Lilo as his human shield, but as the movie passes, then he starts loving Lilo because Lilo becomes his Ohana. And I love it, it's very, very cute. And one of the biggest changes in this movie is that Cobra Bubbles is a CIA agent who knows about aliens. So he pretends to be the social worker's boss, and together they go to Nanny's and Lilo's home so he can get proof that Stitch is an alien. In the original movie from 2002, Jamba and Pickle they use disguises to look like human, but they don't do it in this movie. Instead, they have image inducers so they can pretend to be human. And in the original movie, Pickle most often cross-dresses as a woman, but doesn't do it in this movie. Instead, he's very LGBTQ&A coded. It's not totally the same, but there are many people who are mad that Pickle is not in drag in the movie. What do you think? One of the biggest changes in this movie is that the shark guy, Gantu, is not in the movie. I suspect it might be because he's too expensive or maybe too scary. So instead, Jamba is actually the villain of this movie, so he starts destroying Lilo's and Nanny's house. But a lot of people doesn't like the new ending because it ends a lot different than the original one does. Here comes my review. I love the movie, but it ain't perfect. It has some flaws. Some of the acting feels off, like the actor who plays Jamba, Zach Galifianakis from Hangover. He's usually very funny, but in this movie he ain't so funny. I don't know what's off, but he's off. But instead we have the newcomer Maya Kealoha. She makes her debut in this movie and she's very good, and she's only 8 years old, so and she comes up with a splash. She's very good, and I hope she gets many roles. Her comedic timing is very good, so I hope she gets more roles. Appreciate how the remake still kept the heart of the original. It's a beautiful movie that mixes chaos and tenderness. With Stitch, he's being funnier than ever, but also more vulnerable. The CGI really surprised me because Stitch looks expensive and he's full of personality. The thing is, the movie was supposed to be a streaming movie, but they noticed how good the movie was, so they decided to release it in cinema, and I'm very happy they did. And now it's time for me to show you my new popcorn bucket. Usually I don't buy them because I don't like them so much. The ones in Sweden aren't so great most of the time, but this time I thought that Film Staden actually had a very great popcorn bucket, because you don't only get the bucket, you also get a plushie. I'm gonna show you. Look, here you can have the popcorn, and see, it says aloha. It's very cool. It's like and you can actually separate Stitch. So you also get a plushie, and it's very cute. And usually these ones are very expensive in Sweden, but now I got a bucket and Stitch for only 300 SEK, and I love it so much, and I recommend it. Look how cute it is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're doing fine. The new Lilo Stitch movie, or have you seen the old one from 2002? Tell me down in the comments. I really want to know what you think of the movies. I really love them, and I think they're equally good, but I think the 2002 one is slightly better. But this movie is very good because of the girl who plays Lilo and Stitch. They are so cute together, and it's really good. So they are the whole movie for me. They steal the show. Okay, and drop a like if you want, and also why not subscribe, then we can hang more together. Okay, bye bye.
Pom pom pom, pachom pachom chom, quédate, pom pom.